So I managed to spend a good few evenings working on the car. I've got the turbo feed line all fitted up. I've got a nice P-clip on there so it can't go too far. Got the coolant lines on, one there, one underneath here. One goes to the start housing here and the other one goes down to the water pump. I've got the big oil drain down the bottom on. I don't know where you can see that there. Yeah. I managed to get the wastegate sat with a nice gap from here, so even if the engine was to move around, it won't touch and it's away from the actual pipe there. So I spaced it out, a couple of nuts, and then I've bent it a little bit. Actually, it's arm fine, so that should work. I need to refit the down pipe before I run it up. A few little bits and bobs, but we're getting a lot closer. So there's normally like a metal pipe that goes down the front, underneath, behind the bumper bar, down here. This is the power steering cooler, or allegedly a cooler, but they're known for rotting out, and as you can see, mine is pretty rusty. I had to take it off mainly because the pipework was in the way of where the rad, when I leant the rad back and moved it over a smidge, pipework was in the way and I had to cut the nut off in behind where it mounts to move the radiator, and then cut a bit more of the slam panel out here. And basically this sort of fits here all right now, so that's worked out nice. Should still be able to slot the fan in down the back because that slots into these two holes down here, so I can run the normal fan, which is what I want. I will be going eventually for a coolant reroute, which means I'll get rid of this and blank this off, but at the moment that's not necessary just for me to get it up and running. Drilled and fitted the IT sensor. Nice and close to the intake, so it should be pretty accurate. I took away, there's a little bracket here that I think used to hold the carbon canister as well. Used to have a couple of these hoses that used to go to the intake, so I've taken those off because I don't need them, so that whole bracket can go in a minute. What else have I done? I have refitted the rocker cover. I don't know if you could tell in the other video, but this was just sat on there loose. I've put a new rocker cover gasket on, refitted all the core packs back in, so that's all fine. So essentially now the next job is to bead roll these pipes. I'm actually going to make a video about that individually because I bought quite a cheap bead roller online. Hopefully that's going to do the job. I don't know yet. It might not. I might have to go back to the old school way of doing it with a pair of pliers. And then I've got to wait for these silicone joiners to turn up so I can join the two pieces of pipe each side together, make the brackets up for these intercoolers. And then once the pipe work's on, I'll bolt the rad in. Need to extend the brackets that are on here. So ones that normally live like that, need to cut and extend them both sides like that. Once that's all on, I've got to work out what I'm going to do with the intake. Originally, I was going to put like a 180-degree bend here and put the filter up here and then put some sort of like heat shield or something, but it's still over in the very hot side of the engine. I don't know how good an idea this is. Putting, because I've got loads of this alley pipe left over, putting two 90-degree alley pipes in here and having the filter sat over here on the cold side. It's a lot of extra pipe work really for the intake, but it keeps it in the cool. Here's one I've paired earlier. So here's the filter that came with it, which is absolutely fine. It's too big to just sit on there anyway. It needs some sort of adapter. I could have it just sort of sat here on like an elbow. I was debating moving that over to the other side, and then there would be more room for a filter sat in there like that. That was one of the possibilities. So haven't decided for sure yet. I think that pretty much takes us to the end of this section. I'll get the rest of it on, make the video about the bead roll and the pipework, and yeah,